This guy is a wrecking machine, and he's hungry.
All of you chumps are gonna bow. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Money.
You're listening to The Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB. If you'd like to contact Mr. Credit, visit mrcredit.org.
All right, welcome to The Real Estate Debate, where we debate the hottest topics in San Diego real estate and guarantee to make you smarter than everyone else. Mr. Credit here, your host, and judging today's action and co-hosting with me is my good buddy Sean Cahan with Cornerstone Mortgage Bank. Sean, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing excellent. How are you doing today?
Doing fantastic. You're looking very fresh and clean with the new haircut today.
Mr. Brown's.
You can see all the past shows on therealestatedebate.com if you'd like to see the video versions, or go to the YouTube page at youtube.com/Mr. Credit Radio. Sean, exciting show today. Past champ in the studio, very close to past champ a couple times in the studio,
Almost.
And we have a newbie today
Yes.
on the Real Estate Debate. So a good mixture of veterans, new people, past champions. Should be an exciting show.
I'm looking forward to it, and I want to see the newbie and what his responses are going to be.
Okay, all right. Interested to see how he does. It's going to be interesting, and he's a very sharp guy. Before we introduce our contestants today, there was a story I saw that I wanted to bring up with you particularly, and this is through Inman.com, which is a kind of a real estate website, real estate-centric content website that's run by Brad Inman. And they recently published a story that was titled, quote, "It will take a village to close a mortgage in 2015. Now, we're into 2015 now. I mean, we're in Q2 2015 now. Mm-hmm. You tell me, is there some reality behind, the mortgage process taking longer now, or is that going to be coming down the pike?
I don't think that the actual process has gotten harder or more difficult. I just think that with FHA dropping, kind of like the rates have kind of come down, it was the perfect storm where everyone got really, really busy very, very quick. And so now it is taking longer because when a file goes in and, there are time-sensitive documents in there. So if a file takes a long time, then they're always having to send in more documents instead of having a clean package from the very beginning, get all the way to the funding table before they actually expire. So I've been hearing a lot about the banks having that issue. And so then on the consumer side, they feel that, hey, what else do you want? Do you want my blood sample? And it's just kind of repeating the same question from the very beginning, but it's just taking a very long time.
There's a little bit of a jab in this article about mortgages being tight, difficult to get. Do you feel that there's any truth to that? Has that part changed?
I don't think that the guidelines have actually changed. I think what is changing is more of like the investor overlays. Some banks are wanting to service more. So these direct banks are coming up and saying, hey, we had a great 2012, 2013, 2014. And so what they're doing is they're putting their money in their own banks and now servicing. So as soon as they start servicing the loans, I see more tightening of the restrictions on the overlays because now they're on the actual hook for the servicing side. So
interesting.
That's what I've seen.
So the banks are holding on to the paper instead of selling it to Fannie Mae.
Well, they're still selling the paper, but they're actually servicing the mortgage, and you just don't want like an EPO. You don't want to sell the mortgage early.
Right.
Because it's more of like an annuity when you service a mortgage compared to actually just selling it. You get your cut, the bank gets theirs, the loan officer, and then you move on. It's almost like I call it turning the paper as fast as possible compared to this way. The banks are holding on to the mortgages to try to get that annuity because Fannie and Freddie actually pay a very large, or like a yearly stipend if you service their mortgages. So
right. Yeah. Oh, great stuff from Sean the Mortgage Geek. It's Sean Cahan with Cornerstone Mortgage Bank. He is one of the best mortgage professionals in San Diego. That's why we invite him on the show. Appreciate you coming in today. Spend the time judging the program. If you have questions about buying or refinancing a home, you can call Sean at 619-519-3780. So 619-519-3780. 3780. Sean, you ready to meet today's contestants?
I am.
Okay, let's start with the number one seat. David Stone is here from GreaterGoodRealty.com. David, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Glad to be here.
You are the aforementioned newbie today, so this is your first time, not your first time on the show, you've been on the show. This is your first time on the Real Estate Debate. How do you feel? You're nervous?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm just curious, when's the last time a newbie has won?
Well, it's happened. It's happened, but it's been a while. I'll be honest with you.
The first show?
It's been some time. It's a difficult show to win. It really is. It's a difficult show to win. If you win the show, you've really done something special.
Well, I got a bunch of statistics here, a little bit of experience, and I got a good dose of kissing up to the judge coming up here. So I'm ready.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that you get points for.
I like Skittles.
Right away is the ability to maintain the fedora with the headset on. I mean, that however you pulled that off. I know that's your shtick. You're the fedora guy.
That's right.
People have seen you around. You have the fedora on all the time. He was somehow able to figure out how to do that and put the headset on. So congratulations and thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Sir.
Appreciate
it. And the champ is here. Brian Curry's in the house from Caldwell Banker and BrianCurry.com. Mr. Curry, how do you do, sir?
I do well. Thank you. How do you do?
Do good, man.
Hey, I will tell you, I know these two people by reputation.
You do.
And you got a great panel. I mean, you always bring in great guests. These two are well known out in the streets as being really great professionals. So this is going to be a great show.
And I would say that across the board in here today.
Yeah, you always bring the A game in here.
Yeah, this is great stuff. Now, Brian, you're looking for your second golden microphone trophy
I'm searching,
today.
man. I've been second a couple of times in a row, man.
I
I'm just
know.
like I'm reaching. It's a tough debate.
It's tough to win the
really
show.
is.
It just is. So if you're the winner today, you'll be one of only a handful of people who have 2 or more trophies. So good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Nicole Hazelton is here in seat number 3 with Hazelton and Associates and YourSDHome.com. Nicole's looking for her first golden microphone trophy. Nicole, will today be the day?
I hope today will be the day. I'm prepared.
You're prepared?
So we'll see.
You're always prepared. You always do well. You always do well. We've had a few things happen in the past. We're not going to go there. But
I've been announced a few times.
You've been announced a couple times as a winner. No trophies to show. But good luck to you today.
Thank you.
As we open the show with Rapid Fire.
Let's go around the table for Rapid Fire.
I'm gonna give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead.
Keep it short and keep it on point.
1, 2, 10. Keep the change, you filthy animals.
Today's Rapid Fire topic is tips for winning a bidding war in the peak season of this hot market, which we would think would be like a month or 2 from now, but seems like we're already there. Contestants be prepared with many answers, 5 to 10 seconds per answer. We're starting with David Stone.
Well, one of the obvious ones, provide a loan pre-approval letter and proof of funds statement when you submit the offer.
Okay, yep, no question about it. Brian Curry.
I would say this candidly, there is no winning in a bidding war. But if you got to get into one, go back to the village that closes the loan, make sure that the loan officer is involved. And that I have the loan officers call the listing agents, show you how qualified my buyer really is.
Yeah. Sean, you agree with that? I think that's a good idea.
I call every single listing agent.
You call them all.
Yeah, it's huge.
There it is.
90%.
Nicole Hazelton.
When you are given a multiple counter offer, accept with an addendum increasing your price to set you above the rest.
Interesting. I didn't know you could do that.
You can.
That's brilliant. David Stone.
I always have buyers, when it's a competitive situation, write that dear seller letter, trying to form that common bond. If they notice that there's dogs that lived in the house, kid pictures on the walls, anything that can sort of personalize and humanize rather than having that piece of paper sitting in front of the seller. They want to feel that they know the buyer and who's going to enjoy their home in the future.
Dear seller letter, definitely a good idea. Brian Curry.
Graduated deposits. What I'll do is I'll bring an earnest money deposit in, and after certain contingencies have been met, I'll bring in more money. Make it hard money on the deal. If my client really wants the house and you put hard money on a deal, a seller's more apt to take that.
I totally agree. That is a great point that is not brought up often enough. A lot of people try to put $1,000 earnest money. Put $10,000. Show them you really want the house. That really does make a difference.
Yeah, then up the ante, and it makes a difference.
Totally. Makes you stick out. Nicole Hazelton.
Price isn't always the determining factor, so I would learn more about the seller situation so that you can tailor the terms of the offer according to their needs.
So for example, if they don't want to necessarily be out of the house for a couple months or something like that, or rent back, it's a very, very good idea. Right now we're doing the rapid fire segment on the real estate debate. Today's rapid fire topic is tips for winning a bidding war in the peak season of this very hot market that we have right now in San Diego. We're back to David Stone.
Reduce contingency periods in the initial offer. The standard on the residential purchase agreement is 17-day for inspection, appraisal, and 21-day for loan approval. There's no reason that you need 17-day for a home inspection. Go ahead and chop that down to 10 right out of the gate. If you're working with a quality lender like Sean Cahan, he should be able to even close it within 21 days and maybe push that down to 17-day on a loan approval as well.
Okay. Look to remove contingencies or lower the amount of time on contingencies to get ahead in the game. Brian Curry.
I'm going to show my age on this one. Hand carry your offer. To the listing agent. Hand carry it. Walk it over to their office, walk in, introduce yourself, sit down, and have a conversation.
You mean no DocuSign, Brian?
No DocuSign, no fax, no PDF. Actually get in the car and drive your offer over to the other party.
That is absolutely brilliant stuff. Nicole Hazelton.
Mind your manners and make sure that your agent is courteous from scheduling the showings to locking up the house when you're done.
Yeah, you got to pay attention to stuff like that. People notice it. They'll get ticked off. There's no question about it. David Stone.
Pick a realtor that knows how to write up a clean offer. Being on the other side of my listings, it's amazing that you'll get some agents that will have such a messy offer, whether it's handwritten, the wrong boxes checked off, or even having a wrong property information on the wrong page. So the buyer should make sure they're dealing with someone that's professional, that's reputable. That's who they're mirroring on the offer.
That never happens, does it, Sean?
Of course not.
If you just look through the MLS at properties, you'll see some crazy stuff sometimes, Brian Curry.
This is one of my yikes ones, but it goes back to my first comment, which is there is no winning in a bidding war, but remove the appraisal contingency. If you absolutely know the numbers make sense and there's a range of appraisal numbers that would make sense to your buyer, remove the appraisal contingency. Show them how serious you are about buying the house regardless.
You should have a pretty good idea what it's going to appraise for,
you
honestly.
should.
I mean, you should be able to. That's one of the ones people get scared by, but the reality is you should know very, very closely what the thing's going to appraise for ahead of time.
Absolutely.
You have a good agent. No question. Very good stuff from Brian Curry. Nicole Hazelton.
I like that.
Write in an as-is clause so that the seller understands you're going to be easy to work with throughout the process. You might not be nickeling and diming them for repairs or credits along the way.
Okay. Yeah. Very good idea. An as-is clause. Well, you don't see that very often. All right. Fantastic opening segment here in Rapid Fire on the real estate debate. Coming up, it'll be time for Agree or Disagree. We'll check in with our co-host and judge, Sean Cahan, to see what the scores are, and we'll continue to make you smarter than everyone else. It's all guaranteed.
Welcome back to the real estate debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Grooving there. All right, welcome back to the real estate debate. Thank you for hanging out with us on your Sunday afternoon. Mr. Credit here, your host. We're talking all things San Diego real estate, debating the hottest topics, making you smarter than everyone else. All that stuff guaranteed right here and 24/7 on therealestatedebate.com. Our co-host today and judging the action, my good friend Sean Cahan, is here with Cornerstone Mortgage Bank. Sean, how do the points look so far through one segment?
They're actually really good, and I gave 2 bonus points out. But
Nice.
David Stone and Brian Curry are tied with 5 points, and then Nicole has 4 points.
Okay, so a very close race so far. So
Yeah.
David Stone has 5, Brian Curry has 5, Nicole Hazelton has 4, as we head into Agree or Disagree.
Time now for Agree or Disagree.
Can't we just settle this over a pint?
Agree
Yes! Yes!
or Disagree.
To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people! Let's get it on!
Okay, Brian Curry will be starting with you for this session of Agree or Disagree. Tell us whether you disagree or disagree with the given statement and defend your position. Quote, home prices have gone too high, too fast, and we now have a bubble forming that everyone should be concerned about.
Agree with a caveat.
Okay?
I agree that there is a bubble forming because prices have gone too high, too hot, too quickly. But the caveat is this. I think the bubble is building, or the balloon is building, with a relief valve in it. And I think the relief valve is right over here on my right, which is the lenders, because now the requirements are so much more strict. Now you have more qualified buyers in the market that are more qualified for the loan. You know, it's not just stated income with, you know, if you could fog a mirror in 2007, you could get a loan. I mean, that's the reality of it. Now we can't do that. So I think that there is a bubble, you know, that's building, but I think it's a bubble with a relief valve, and the relief valve is the underwriting.
Is lending.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. That makes sense. Nicole Hazelton, do you agree or disagree with the statement home prices have gone too high, too fast, and now we have a bubble forming that everyone should be concerned about?
I actually think Brian nailed it right on the head. I think there's just too much cash in the market for there to be a bubble to burst. And especially with the banks tightening their guidelines, they have assured stability in the market by not having stated income, stated asset loans, not having no income, no asset loans, like Brian mentioned in 2007. But there's a great historical housing data form on California Association of Realtor website, car.org, and it goes through the median home price of homes in San Diego detached residences month to month from 1990 until today. So today our median house price is $496,000, which is the same as it was in March of 2004. So we're back to the prices where we were right before our market crashed initially. However, there is so much cash in the market. I mean, downtown's market, the last 3 months, all of our home volume that has been sold is 50% cash. And
wow.
Yeah, and I just think that the banks are assuring stability. So I don't think there's going to be any bubble bursting anytime soon. And prices are going to go up in San Diego. They might deflate a little bit. And good, if they deflate, buy more property.
Yeah.
Because your property doesn't depreciate unless you sell it. So these people that can actually afford their homes now, that are getting into homes, can continue to pay their mortgage even when the prices go down slightly.
And you get a break on your taxes when that happens. Okay. Mm-hmm. I know where you're going. David Stone, what do you think about today's agree or disagree question, or statement, I should say? Home prices have gone too high, too fast, and we now have a bubble forming that everyone should be concerned about.
I 100% positively disagree. There's no bubble. When I look at the market right now, the last 4 to 6 months, I think corrections have already been occurring, and the market has been settling down from a price appreciation standpoint. And just looking at some stats here, for single-family homes throughout San Diego County in 2013, it was 475,000. It went up 4% in 2014 to a median of 495. So very, very normal market, if not slightly below a normal market with only a 4% appreciation for 2014. Now, when you start looking at 2015 in the first quarter, has there been a higher price appreciation? Absolutely. But when you start looking at a specific segment of the market, and I'll use the example here in prices, home sales that sold between 250 and 500,000, comparing March of 2014 to March of 2015, there were actually almost 11% fewer sales. And I view this particular category as being that category price point where that was the culprit for the bust that occurred back in 2007. Individuals that possibly could not or should not have qualified for loans were getting them. And the way that the guidelines are right now in the market, those individuals can't get loans if they wanted them anyway. And I think that's where you're even seeing that reduction in the number of sales.
Okay. Interesting. You know what? I really want to hear what Sean thinks about this particular question. Now, you're the judge, so you don't have to score yourself on this one. But tell me, what do you think, Sean? Because you own a lot of real estate. You've bought and sold a lot of real estate. You're addicted to real estate. Let's be honest.
Yes.
And so what do you think about home prices right now? Have they gone too high, too fast? Is there a bubble forming?
Me personally, I'm scared of the market. I think that the prices are too high, and I think that there definitely is a bubble. As you could see in August of 2013, when prices went up by 7/8% in a 2.5 week period, what happened to the market? It completely stopped. So third quarter of this year, they're saying that the interest rates could go up. Nothing's, a guarantee. And then they're talking about maybe like a 3/4, increase, and then 1.5 in 2016, possible. So me personally, I think that it won't be a bubble like what we're all thinking a bubble is of 30%, 20%, crash. I'm talking about, a smaller one, maybe a 5% or a 10% decrease in prices. That's just me on the more of the investor side, because I look for kind of more value adds, and right now it's very difficult to actually find anything out there that actually makes sense to me.
Okay, as an investor.
As an investor, yeah.
Anybody want to chime in?
I have a question for Sean, and for everybody for that matter. And I agree with you. I think that, third quarter, the rates may or may not go up. Now, the Fed said the rates were going to go up, and then in November they said, wait a minute, we can't do that yet. And then they came back in, 2 weeks ago and said, no, we're not ready to raise these things
Correct.
yet. We're going into an election year. And this is just my opinion, and I'd love everybody to chime in on this. I believe that the Fed doesn't want to raise rates too far simply because they can't take the sheet off the rest of the economy and let everybody see it, because
Yeah.
the rest of the economy is really not performing either. So if we keep our distractions on rates, we don't have to really raise the sheet on the rest of the economy, which is not so good.
Keeps
You
the
agree
stock
with that?
market up.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree.
do.
Yeah, I think what happens is when you have the low rate environment, it keeps the stock market up,
Right.
which makes everyone have something to hang their hat on.
Yep.
401k is doing good,
Yeah.
retirement account looks good.
I need something to feel good about.
Yeah, I need something to feel good about, and that's what you get with low interest rate environment. My concern is similar to Sean's, that we have a bubble in prices forming because of low inventory situation. So I think if inventory were to increase, that would put a little bit of pressure on the market. If you have that coupled with an increase in interest rates, that could put more pressure on the market. But we're not talking about 30 or 40% drops. We're not talking about what happened in 2007. Yeah. That's off the table.
Yeah.
That's off the table.
Well, and even if it goes down 10% and rates go up 1%, you're still balancing out what you're paying over the course of a 30-year loan.
Right.
So it's equal.
Your cost of ownership may not change.
Right.
But if you're an investor and you're looking at just price, like let's say you're not, because so many transactions are happening in cash. If
Yeah.
you're not buying with financing, then it really does matter.
A normal real estate market annually goes up 3 to 5%, right? So we go back to 2013, we have a 17% increase in the spring of 2013, and we gave 12% back by the end of the year. So what do we have? At the end of the year, we had a normal real estate market.
Yep.
3 to 5 for 3 years, then a 3 to 5 give back on the fourth year. That's the normal cycle. We've been
True.
out of the cycle since 2008. It's about time we get back into the normal cycle.
Yeah, no, makes sense. Great
Yeah, the
stuff.
spikes hurt. Actually,
Yeah.
the spikes,
They do.
like on like the lender side, when interest rates come crashing down and everyone's all excited, it's very difficult on banks. It's like yes, we like the influx of business, don't get me wrong, but it's very difficult on us because now it's a demand. Now it's like I need this, I need this, I need
It's
this,
a fire
and
hose
everything.
that you drink from.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's like a bottleneck, right?
Right.
And then everyone's like trying to get that bottleneck, so they're worrying about that. They're not worrying about the future. And then all of a sudden the interest rates start to slightly come up, and all of a sudden they're like, we didn't go out and get any other business. We're just trying to focus on the actual influx that came over. So it's really difficult on banks and employees too. That's why banks are always in a very difficult spot of hiring people, laying off people, furlough people, hiring people. Like 2 months ago, I could have hired 50 underwriters. Today, I can't even get 2 underwriters, and it's crazy. So,
All right, great stuff from our panelists. You're listening to the Real Estate Debate on AM 760 KFMB. Coming up next, it's hot or not so hot. We will continue to make you smarter than everyone else. It's all guaranteed.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
All right, welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with us on your Sunday afternoon. Mr. Credit here, listening to the Real Estate Debate. A great discussion we're having so far. Just awesome stuff. This is what the show is all about, educating you, making you smarter about the real estate market in San Diego. You can find out more at therealestateDebate.com, or you can call us at 888-888-0154. Our judge today, co-hosting with me, my good buddy Sean Cahan is here with Cornerstone Mortgage Bank. Sean, what does the score look like halfway through today's debate?
halfway through, we are all tied up. Everyone has 9 points.
What? A three-way tie. Okay. It should be noted that no one has even touched a challenge flag yet. They're just sitting there. No one's touched a challenge flag, so everyone's got their challenge flag. So as it is right now, it would be a complete tie if the show ended right now, and you would actually have to decide the winner. So that would be a really tough call halfway through. Let's see if some separation can take place as we move through to hot or not so hot.
Time now for hot or not so hot.
So hot right now.
Let's find out if your neighborhood is heating up
It's hot.
or if your district is on the decline.
I am completely miserable, San Diego.
All right. Nicole Hazelton, we'll be starting with you for hot or not so hot. Each contestant will tell us about a specific micro market in San Diego, which they believe is either a hot market or a not so hot market. All contestants, please be ready to explain with any data or real events you have to support your position. So, Nicole, you're up first.
I'm going to talk a little bit about the Columbia District downtown.
Okay.
It's been a kind of an unrecognized district for some time now. It's been living in the Marina District shadow for a while. It's sandwiched in between Little Italy and the Marina District, and it's composed of some really amazing high-rise communities: the Grand and Sapphire, Electra, and Bayside, Bosa's newest development until now that he's broken ground on the corner of Pacific Highway and Broadway, which is going to be the newest Lux of the Lux community in downtown San Diego. So although the Columbia District might not look hot on paper right now, with 13 pending sales, 7 sold in the last 30 days and 24 active on the market, their active price point is around $925,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So it doesn't seem hot, right? Because it seems like it's kind of less affordable, and there's about three months of inventory on the market. But with the development that's happening at the Navy Broadway complex by Manchester, there's a lot of live-work mixed-use spaces that are coming into town, boutique hotels and restaurants, and that whole area just being revitalized. I think that in the near future, and with the BOSA building being built and rumored to sell at $1,000 a square foot, it will be the hottest up-and-coming market in downtown San Diego.
$1,000 a square foot.
$1,000 a square foot.
They think they're going to get
New York.
$1,000.
Which, by the way, I just closed a unit at Park Place last month in the Marina District, 1,200 square feet for $1.255. And we all know that the value is vertical downtown, but that was $1,050 a square foot, $500 a square foot over what the average price point is in the Marina.
I was going to say, that's like someone smoking something. I mean, $1,000 a square foot? Seriously?
$1,000 a foot?
That's unbelievable.
So imagine if you can
Yeah.
get in the $800,000 price point now in the Columbia District, and this building is built, and they start selling at $1,000 a square foot, what your chances are for appreciation and equity
Okay.
in the near future.
I can buy that. I've personally never been a huge fan of the Columbia District.
You will be.
But I can see Sean. I can see the wheels turning there. His investor mind is always going. He's like $1,000 a square foot. He's got a
Fear just got
calculator
pushed to the side.
All right. Interesting. David Stone from GreaterGoodRealty.com. Hot or not so hot market today?
Well, I'm actually also looking at the downtown market as being extremely hot, but I'm focused more on a different district, and that's East Village. The East Village area, just as an example, was up 17% in 2014. It has an average median price of $450,000. It's going to piggyback onto the Marina and the Columbia districts and that $1,000 per square foot momentum that's going on that waterfront, because the bottom line is that price point is going to attract cash buyers, second home buyers, people that can afford those $1 million, $2 million type units. But it's just a short walk over to East Village, and you're surrounded by the gas lamp, and basically everyone that's living in Columbia is pretty much heading east for all of their activities in the evening. So Little Italy, to me, is by far the highest percentage increases that will occur here in the next year.
Really? Little Italy?
I'm sorry, East Village.
East
Did I say
Village.
Little Italy the second time? East
Okay.
Village.
Yeah, so East Village. Yeah, I agree. I think with $450 as the price point right now, still very affordable. Mm-hmm. People can get in there. And I'm telling you, these the stuff that's the cheaper stuff, the studios, the one bedrooms are flying off the shelf down there. I mean, you can't if you want one of those, you better get aggressive. So I definitely would agree with you on East Village. Brian Curry, hot market or not so hot market?
Hot. San Diego's hot. Springtime. It's heating up. I got some really specific stats, so check these numbers out, okay? And I've got a couple really interesting things going on here. Last time I was on the show, I had mentioned that the coastal North County was really going crazy. And anybody that knows how I do my business knows I just get in the car and go where you want to go. I know San Diego really well. I sell all over the place. The two hottest markets in San Diego right now, okay? And this is from a median and from a February to March, and then over a 12-month period. Cardiff is the hottest market in San Diego. Now remember, median price includes detached, attached, includes everything. And right now there's a lot more detached homes coming on the market. So Cardiff had a median in February of $633,000.
Really?
In February, it had a median of $1.3 million. So a bunch of detached stuff came on the market. Over the last 12 months, it went up 111%.
That's crazy.
111% in Cardiff. So if you are selling a home in Cardiff, call me. Leucadia, right next to Cardiff. 12 months, it went up 22.9%. It went up over it's at 1,072 right now as a median. So those two markets have a huge influx of detached home. Third market, really, really hot market in San Diego right now is the Inland South Bay. So you're looking at Otay, you're looking at East Lake, you're looking at that entire district down there. And it's up 94.2% over the last 12 months. Part of that is the final washout of short sales, right? Now this is medium, detached, attached, and everything. Inland South County went from 340,000 to 585,000 median over the last month.
That's crazy.
So that's telling me that the detached stuff is coming on the market. The condos are a thing of the past in terms of the majority or the biggest piece of the inventory, which, by the way, it's not huge. And the average market time right now in San Diego, and I believe in October when we had this conversation, was up around 46, 47 days, is down to 24 days.
That's crazy.
Market's moving.
It is.
Market's moving. Now, I have other numbers if you want to talk about them, about where the inventory's gone. And for the last 3 months in a row, it's gone down significantly. So, and I think we're down, a total 3-month decline. From July of 2014, we'd have over 10,000 listings. Now we have 7,298.
Yeah.
Total.
And we keep
Not
seeing,
a great inventory.
It's not a lot, and there's a lot of stuff that's on the market.
Yeah.
That's just sitting there. Mm-hmm. It's way overpriced.
Well, the rub is this. If it's good and it's priced right, it sells like that. And that's what kind of creates that bubble conversation is, oh, my God, that moved in 3 days.
Right.
Well, it's a fabulous home that's priced correctly.
But it's feast or famine.
It's feast or famine. If it's priced incorrectly and it's marginal, it's going to sit and you're going to chase the market down, and that's when you start getting underneath the market, and then you have to chase the market back up. So you better price it right, and you better be, I call it the wow factor. When somebody puts a key in the door, they need to walk in and go, wow, I can live here tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Great stuff from Brian Curry, Caldwell Banker, BrianCurry.com. Sean, what do you think? Is there a market you like in San Diego right now?
I like downtown. I think downtown's I think that more people are moving from there, kind of outwards. Maybe in like the 2000s, everyone's kind of going outwards, and now everyone's kind of coming back into downtown area. I really think that, I kind of follow these big builders, right? They're the most intelligent. They got a lot of money on the line, and they got a less stuff going on downtown. So I'm actually really stoked about downtown.
Yeah, there's a ton of construction. The cranes are everywhere. High rises are going up. And this stuff has kind of been in the works. It's been in the plans for several years now. It's not, it takes years for these big buildings to go up. So we've known it was coming, and now that you start to see it, it's like, okay, I can see how this could fill in. And these places that you wouldn't even want to walk through some of these areas a year or two ago, that's all changing. So I agree with you. I think downtown is the place where you're going to see the biggest change over the course of the next 10 years as far as pricing.
445 West Ash Street. It's the vacant lot.
Is that
right
the one?
Behind my building? Yeah, it's like, I think it's one of the last lots that you can build, actually, 500 feet. Just sold 40,000 square feet, just sold for $12 million. And then the other parcel that I think they're going to join them is going to sell for $8 million. So it's only $20 million for that actual lot. And they're talking about a Whole Foods right there too.
And none of that stuff even exists in downtown yet. Yeah. So just imagine when it does. All right, coming up, it's time for the win. Who will walk away with the Golden Microphone Trophy today? Will it be David Stone with GreaterGoodRealty.com, Brian Curry from BrianCurry.com, or Nicole Hazelton from YourSDHome.com? It's time for Listing of the Week. We'll be back to make you smarter than everyone else.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
Let the dance party begin on your Sunday afternoon right here on the Real Estate Debate. TheRealEstateDebate.com. It's time to crown a champion here as we go into the final segment, co-hosting and judging today's action. Sean Cahan, Sean the Mortgage Geek here with Cornerstone Mortgage Bank. Sean, how do we look? How does the score look 3/4 of the way through today's show?
Well, we have a first, second, and third now. So
really?
We got a little bit of separation in the third round. Nicole is actually in first place right now.
Okay. How many points does she have?
She has 16. We have David Stone at 15 points. And actually, no, sorry, 14 points.
David has 14, okay.
Yeah. And then Brian Curry's in third place.
With?
13.
With 13.
Yeah.
Okay, so a little separation there from Nicole. She's got 16 points.
And Nicole has 15. I apologize.
Okay.
I was checking, yeah.
Okay, so
I promise I'm good with numbers. I just can't read my own handwriting.
Oh, goodness.
And your interest rate is A.
A and an eighth. Nicole Hazelton has 15 points. David Stone has 14. Brad Curry has 13 as we head into listing of the week. In this segment, it's scored a little bit differently. So there's 10 total points that Sean has to give out. Mandatory 10, no more, no less. And he divvies them up based on how well you do pitching your listing of the week. Now, Brian Curry, since you are behind so far, you are going to start as we go to listing of the week.
Time now for the listing of the week.
Oh my God, look at this, you guys. I'm gonna start the bidding for this $8 billion.
Here's your chance to pitch us your most prized property.
Go ahead, make my day.
Go ahead, Mr. Curry. Tell us about your listing of the week.
I'm going to make your day. I got a great new listing. It's coming on the market tomorrow. It's in Forest Ranch. San Moritz is the complex. It's a townhome, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,428 square feet on Duxbury Lane. It's close to. It's walking distance to everything. Forest Commons is right next door. It's got Trader Joe's, World Market, Ralph's is in there. LA Fitness is around the corner. It's got great amenities in the complex, including a full pool, lap pool, great gym on the premises as well. It's going to be listed at $494,500. Two-car garage, great little patio area out front, a lot of privacy. So it's a great townhome and a great central location. Schools should be important to a lot of people. So if you got kids and you can't afford that big house in North Inland County, this is a great option because it is the 3-bedroom and it's in the Poway Unified School District. So it's just absolutely fantastic. So
at that price point, you're going to have a lot of activity.
Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of activity on it. So it's
how would someone who wants to find out more, maybe see the tour of this property, get in touch with you?
A lot of different ways to get in touch with me. Phone number direct is 619-251-1588. Website www.briancurry.com. Also, I want to point out that I am a USAA and a Navy Federal Credit Union preferred broker. I do a lot of military work, prior military myself. So if you are a member of USAA or a member of Navy Federal Credit Union, let me know. Again, call me 619-251-1588. I will register for you for one of their home mover programs, and you get some discounts.
Very cool.
So works out pretty
Interesting. Yeah, 10 years in the Navy, right?
Yeah, 10 years active duty in the Navy. Got out to go to law school and was going to try real estate part-time for a guy, and that was in 1998, and I'm not even sure what law school I was going to go to. So haven't looked back, so it's been a fun run. So
great stuff from Brian Curry, Caldwell Banker, and BrianCurry.com. All right, David Stone, you will be up next for your listing of the week.
Well, I did something a little bit different here. I'm combined 3 rental listings into one, so I'm going to talk pretty fast here, and I'm calling it the Greater Good Excellent Kettner Adventure. So I got 3 rentals all off of Kettner Boulevard right downtown. First one's right across the street from my office in the Marina District at Park Place, Unit 301. It's a high-end luxury condo, tons of upgrades, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, plus a den that's been converted into an office. Has over 1,500 square feet, looks over the tropical courtyard over at Park Place. And it's available May 1st for $36.90 per month. Okay. Then heading down 1 block down the street on Kettner over to Park Row. It's another 2-bedroom, 2-bath, a little bit over 1,100 square feet. It's being completely gutted and remodeled as we speak. It's going to have bamboo hardwood floors, brand new kitchen cabinet appliances, countertops, new bathrooms with Toto toilets, which are amazing if you've never had a Toto toilet. And even has a
check
cool,
that out.
Telling you.
I've been thinking, this toilet just isn't doing it for me. I got to get a better toilet.
Toto.
Toto. We'll have a sidebar conversation on that one. And this one also will be available in about a month. And the rent on this is $2,800 a month, and it definitely won't last long. If you want to check out videos of either of these 2 complexes, Park Place and Park Row, you can go to greatergoodvideos.com to check out that as well as some of their downtown buildings. And then cruising down the street into Little Italy, there's another one right at Hawthorne Street and Kettner Boulevard. You got it. And this is all about value. It's a small 2-bedroom, 2-bath, around 900 square feet, has 18-foot high ceilings, wraparound balcony right at the corner of Hawthorne and Kettner. Real close to where all the new microbreweries and restaurants are popping up, and just minutes from the airport. It's available right now. It's $2,400 per month. And if that wasn't enough, I have one last little bonus on this. I'm going to offer 2 VIP tickets to an upcoming charity function that we're sponsoring for Photo Charity on May the 2nd at the Del Mar Hilton. And this is an organization that helps homeless youth get off the streets. It teaches them really life skills and how to be self-sufficient. So I've been supporting this particular charity for a couple years. These are $250 tickets each. So anyone that rents any of these units, just let me know that you heard it on the show here, and you're going to get 2 VIP tickets over at that event.
Wow.
And if anyone else is interested that isn't renting the unit, you can still go to photocharity.org to buy tickets on your own, or go to givesandiego.com. We're having a drawing to win 2 more tickets there in the next week.
Okay, great. And David, how would someone get in touch with you if they wanted to take a look at these properties personally?
They could give me an email at david@greatergoodrealty.com, or give us a call at 619-GREATER.
Very, very, very good stuff. And by the way, I poke fun of the toilet, but that is a great deal for $2,800. If you've tried to rent something in the Little Italy area, I've got a buddy who right now is in a vacation rental in Coronado because he can't get a place to rent. So I'm actually going to have him call you.
Sounds good. He gets 2 tickets too.
And if you want to upgrade your toilet experience, you could also, that just comes along with it because it's going to be redone.
We can test them there.
David Stone, GreaterGoodRealty.com. Appreciate you being here today, man. That's awesome stuff. Nicole Hazelton, your listing of the week.
Yes, I want to take you back to the Columbia district that we just talked about being such a hot market. This is not an exclusive listing of mine, but I plan on being a cooperating buyer broker at the Santa Fe Depot parcel number 9 new Bosa development that has broken ground. It's going to be a 41-story luxury high-rise community with 232 units, starting roughly, supposedly, rumored to be starting in the $750,000 range. The sizes of the units are going to be from 954 square feet to about 2,500 square feet, the majority of which will be between about 1,300 and 1,700 after they counseled with several local downtown brokers to see, what was going to sell probably the fastest and what people were actually looking for, where the demand was going to be. So this is going to be an incredible building. You can find photos of it on my website at www.yoursdhome.com, or you can call me at 619-206-1892. This building, I'm sure, will boast all of the Bosa traditional amenities, such as the pool and the spa, the fitness center, the amazing community rooms. I mean, if you ever wanted to just take a tour of his latest building, which was Bayside, I'd be more than happy to show you what some of those finishes look like, and this should far surpass anything that he's done in San Diego.
Yeah, it's awesome. Bayside's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. It's a nice place. Great stuff from Nicole Hazelton with Hazelton Associates and YourSDHome.com. I'm going to give our judge, Sean Cahan, a couple of seconds here to do some tallying and double checking and whatnot over there.
Let me count.
And while you're doing that, I want to say a big thank you to our contestants today. David Stone with GreaterGoodRealty.com. Thank you so much for being here, sir. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Educating our audience and sharing your knowledge. Great stuff. Brian Curry with Caldwell Banker and BrianCurry.com. Champ, thank you so much for being here.
Always fun to be here.
Great stuff. You brought it, as you always do. And Nicole Hazelton with Hazelton Associates and YourSDHome.com. You always do a great job. We really appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. Mr. Cahan, was that enough time to tally? Is it close? Because no flags were thrown at all today.
No, I wish some flags.
We're afraid. Nicole and I are afraid.
I know you've got your stats ready, so I don't want to challenge you. And David, too. Stat man.
They got numbers.
Well, sometimes it just happens when you have people who kind of are all on the same page. About not just how to service, clients, but how the market looks and have the same kind of viewpoint. That happens sometimes, and no flags get thrown. That's okay. I consider that to be a good thing. When the flags get thrown, it's more entertaining, and the audience probably likes that, because it's conflictive. But when it comes down to it, okay, I'm getting it here. He's hiding it. He's handing it over to me. So does this mean you don't want to make the announcement?
Nobody wants to challenge. Nobody wants to recount.
He wants you to double check the numbers.
I want you to double check that one.
Okay, so we finished up here. Brian Curry had 16 points. David Stone, 17 points. And Nicole Hazelton, you have won the real estate debate.
I don't believe you. Thank you.
Congratulations. You are now officially a champion of the real estate debate. David Stone, you did a great job for your first time on the show.
Yes.
Congratulations on second place. Mr. Curry, you're a champ and always will be. Stick around for Talking Money with Mr. C coming up right here on AM 760 KFMB.